How can podcast analytics shape the future of your podcast? Imagine being able to peek into the listening habits of your audience, understanding what makes them tune in or switch off. That's the magic of podcast analytics. It's a powerful tool that can optimize your content, captivate a larger audience, and yes, increase your revenue. By understanding your listeners' behavior, you can craft content that resonates with them and keeps them coming back for more. Just like in any other business, data is power in podcasting. Imagine a podcast creator, we'll call her Lisa, who has a modest but loyal audience for her weekly show about entrepreneurship. Lisa, like many podcast creators, was sitting on a goldmine of information about her audience, but she wasn't sure how to utilize it. This untapped resource? Podcast analytics. These are the numbers behind the downloads, the statistics that reveal who's tuning in, when they're listening, and even the platform they prefer. When Lisa decided to delve into her podcast analytics, she uncovered a wealth of knowledge. She learned that her listeners were mostly young professionals, tuning in during their morning commutes on Apple Podcasts. She also discovered that her most popular episodes were the ones featuring interviews with successful entrepreneurs. Armed with this information, Lisa began to tailor her content. She scheduled more interviews, released episodes in time for the morning commute, and even optimized her podcast for Apple Podcasts. The result, a significant increase in audience engagement. But the power of podcast analytics doesn't stop there. By understanding her audience better, Lisa was able to attract advertisers who were keen to reach her specific demographic of young, ambitious professionals. This led to a further increase in revenue, transforming her modest podcast into a profitable venture. And the best part? All of this was possible because of podcast analytics. By understanding her audience and their preferences, Lisa was able to transform her podcast into a more profitable venture. So what can we learn from Lisa's experience? Let's sum it up. Podcast analytics are more than just stats. They're a clear path to understanding your audience, which in turn helps you optimize content. And guess what? This optimized content is like a magnet for advertisers. When you put these puzzle pieces together, you get a recipe for increased revenue. Remember, data is not just numbers. It's the key to understanding your audience, improving your content, and ultimately boosting your revenue.